Krishna explaining Arjuna how to watch the breath, how to experience the breath inside the nostril, and how the mind calms down, how the sense dose calms down, how the perception goes away. And he is telling how to observe the breath down the nostril, outside. Bahir Bahyan. Same thing Buddha explained. Pusana Satova Sabhakaya Pati Samvedi Asasanto Pajanati. Hey monk, as breath comes in, knowing inside the nose, your body feels so light. What Krishna said, what Buddha said, absolutely no difference. And what Yajnavalkya said, what Vasishtha told Rama, same. He Rama Dvibije Chittasya. Only two realities. Meditation is all about, mindfulness all about only two things. Your DNA memory, your conscious memory. Pranaspandana. Your natural breath, which is always in the present, and which goes in the present moment without any time lag to every cell. That's only the way to change the DNA, and that's only the way to change the messenger RNA, and that's only the way to change mitochondria, isn't it? That's only the way to change the gene expression. Breath. Vasana. And doing dharana, observing inside, outside, 70 trillion cells. When you observe directly, and entire individuality goes, singularity comes, the wave nature goes, particle nature comes, and you go beyond. Advaita comes in. And same thing Yajnavalkya. Everyone spoke, that is the truth. Sanatana Dharma, when you say only two realities. One is the dharana, and to do that, prana samyama, observation of the breath, samyama, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. And third chapter onwards, Patanjali explains how to apply this samyama. Trayamekatra samyamam dharana dhyana samadhi. The three together is called samyama. There is no samyama other than this samyama. The three together, which we are practicing. And when we are lying down, you are experiencing samyama. You are preparing for prana samyama. And this prana samyama will will sharpen the mind, increase observation, and further going down into the deep level called insight development or jnana development, or called Tasya saptada pranta bhumi prajnaha. So Patanjali is saying, I am giving you these 8 limbs in order to practice these 7 levels of purification. Wisdom, discriminatory knowledge, to remove the fort of ignorance, to shatter the ignorance. This entire 8-fold path is only for that. Patanjali is very clear. Understand, Sanatana Dharma is only one. Absolute science is only one. The 101 ways to entertain the mind. Ekam Sat Bahudha Viprukta. If your goal is only to concentrate, a cricketer has a concentration, everyone has a concentration. Those who concentrated more have become demon kings, you should know that. A Ravanasura, Bhasmasura, Narakasura, entire Indian mythology is all about fight between the evil and the saint, if you really look at it. What is an evil? Evil has all the powers, shows the powers. And who is a saint? He doesn't show any power. He shows humanity, exemplary human qualities to conquer the evil. How come today And some mind power has become your goal today, you tell me. Spirituality is not for that. For concentration, for entertaining the mind, music, so many things are there. If your goal is only to produce dopamine, if your goal is to balance all the neurotransmitters, this is the way. If your goal is to only fire few neurons, lack of dopamine is called depression. Excess of dopamine is called obsession. Many people today in the spirituality gets obsessed, possessive in nature. Because when any conditioning becomes too much, it's called obsession. If there is no conditioning, it's called a depression. If there is no discipline, if there is no fear, that's called indiscipline. That's called depression. That goes to depression. Understand? So, all this is working in, only living in the present. Breath, no liking, no disliking. Living in this moment, free from past, free from the future. In this moment, the object on which you are concentrating, is it free from past? Is it free from the future? Does it have any liking or disliking? That is a criteria. That is called mindfulness. This is a moment. It is so powerful to change, to bring transformation at the unconscious level. Because unconscious mind is always in the present. You are functioning, the file activated, you are simply playing outside. Anger file active, someone, your camera has captured your enemy, and anger file is activated, and then your face became red and you are so ferocious. And someone you looked at the road and, oh my God, 20 years back, he's my friend, and your friend memory is active, love memory activated, oxytocin, dopamine activated, and then you, oh my God, your face is fully excited, oh my God, let me hug you, please. All the time you are nothing but a file activated. You are a play. You are simply a play of, you are a display of a file activated there. You are only a monitor. You have no control over the source code. So the source code is the file is important. So the only two realities of that file. And that is in this present moment, mindfulness. So that file is always operated in the present. Unconscious mind is conscious 24/7. You are unconscious about the conscious mind, which is 24 hours a day. That's why it has become unconscious. Even in the night, you roll this side, and after a while, again you roll this side. You are listening to me. How many times you moved in your chair? How much time? I want to meditate. Oh my God, Kumar is killing me. You become restless. Without even your awareness, how many times you move in your chair in last, say, 30 minutes or 40 minutes? Now tell me, how many times you moved? What made you to keep your hands like this? What made you to keep hand like this? What made you to keep hands like this? And what made you to move your leg like this? What made you to move your leg like this? What made you to in the chair to move like this? What? Fight and flight mechanism. Your unconscious mind responding to pain, avoiding the pain. Oh, there is a pain. Without even, you are listening to me, but your body is not listening to me. That's why you are viyoga, you are separated. You are thinking you are listening to me, but your unconscious mind is not listening to me. Your unconscious mind is, oh my God, pain. Again you move this side. Again after a while, again this side. And again, hand. So have you kept intentionally your hand here, or hand here, or hand here, hand here? No. But your body only. There is some mind which kept those arms here. There is some mind which is making you move like this, roll. Fight and flight. Unconscious mind comes from the animals. And that is the strongest memory we have. And that mind operates only in fight and flight mechanism. That's why you move, avoid the pain, seek the pleasure. The same pleasure becomes again unpleasant after a while. Again you move this side. In the night, how many times you rolled in your bed if I ask you? Oh, how many times? How do I know, Mr. Kumar? How do I know? See, you have no idea what your vehicle is doing. You have no control on your vehicle. The whole objective is that mind is 24/7 in the present, but in the present moment it is reacting. It is always carrying it is operating from the past. Now, if you free that mind, free from the past, free from the future, the memory changes. You have to train that unconscious mind to be in the present, not to react. No liking, no disliking. Breath, or when you observe dharana, you are observing the field of electrons. That's all. If you really go deeper, that is what it means, the mindfulness is free from because your unconscious mind is always in the present. The only way you can tame it is living in this moment, Entire meditation, what I am teaching you, or what actually the meditation is avidya, ignorance, Veda, wisdom, is only this. Training the mind to be in this moment. Atha yoganushāsanam. There's so many meanings to it. One of the meaning is, now you are learning whatever you have done. Patanjali is clearly saying, so far whatever whether you are spiritual, non-spiritual, whether you practice samadhi or not, whatever you have spiritual background or not. But this is only the way, shasanam, this is only the way. Constitution. So, so in UK you have a UK British Constitution, in America, American Constitution, in India. No one can, all of us, we are abide by the Constitution. This is only the way to the liberation. This is only the way to live in this moment. This whole training is atha, now, right now, right now. Another meaning of atha is right now. The whole training is to train you to be in this moment. The whole teaching of yoga is to be in this moment. That's all. If you are not in this moment, there is no yoga. If you are in this moment, you are yoga, because you are with the unconscious mind. So the barriers between conscious, subconscious, unconscious vanished the moment you are with the unconscious mind. Understand? So this is how we are meditating. Lying down, you are observing the vasanas. Directly, your body, nothing but memories. Your DNA, your mind is a consciousness, observing electron circuits. That's why at the end of dharana, you feel so relieved. You experience many times samyama, many times samadhi. And then you sit when you do dhyana, and as you observe the breath, so conservation of energy, oxygen consumption comes down. Oxygen consumption can be brought down in two ways. One is controlling it, one is observing it. As I told you, aerobic exercise is all about what you call cardiac exercise, increasing the oxygen consumption. Wrong. Actual aerobic is not conserving oxygen, or oxidative phosphorylation. Conserving oxygen. No, sir. It's very important. What you are observing, what saints told to observe only the breath. Okay, so as it is, to conserve the oxygen. How the oxygen is conserved? Because when it doesn't get oxidized, when your system goes to, so 3 liters consumption means you are a very healthy person. 3 liters per minute. 25 liters means you are in ICU. And a yogi means 1.5 liter first samadhi. And so 1 liter second samadhi. And 0 liters third samadhi. 0 liters and heart stops called fourth samadhi. All this is oxygen conservation. Now, sitting at home, I tell you, we also, breath is coming down like And breath has come down like this. And now breath has come down like this. For a yogi, this is called fourth samadhi. Heart also has come down like this. And brain also has come down like this. No fluctuations. That's called samadhi. This is absolute example of conservation. Even otherwise at home, you are watching a TV. The problem, why disease? This removes the disease. It repairs your cell. It removes the disease. But now, another way breath is reduced. Throughout the day also breath is reduced. Do you know that? Why? You are watching a TV. You are engaged in your work. How many times you observed your breath? Tell me. Are you inhaling deep down to the navel? 36 inches, 24 inches, and 16 inches, 12 inches, and 8 inches, 6 inches, 6 inches. Is your breath 6 inches, 8 inches, 16 inches? Or is it 24 inches? Or is it 36 inches? So in yoga it is called, how many inches your breath is? Na bhinnastitau. Yajnavalkya explaining his wife at the end of the meditation. Hey Maitreyi, na bhinnastitau pranam tatra vineya panchagatikam chittanvito dharaye desha kalagabhira bhiti bhayaharini Vaishvanaradharana. Inhale, inhale, down the navel, freeing your entire body, feeling warmthness, feeling warm and warm. Inhale down the navel. Exhale, exhale from down the navel. Freeing all fears, all anxiety, all tension deep down abdomen. Freeing. Exhale, exhale from deep down the navel. In Himalayas, a lama inhaling down the navel, generating heat. And otherwise, a person inhaling down the navel, his body is getting loose and free. Every part becoming so free. Exhaling from down the navel, a lama, and doesn't matter what terrain around him is, he conquered the time around him. And where he is, what terrain, what time, what season it is, doesn't matter. Terrain and season doesn't matter. Kalagabhira bhiti bhaya harini. 36 inches breath he is telling about. And he tells, meditating on heart. So 16 inches breath. When you are watching, when you are engaged in your work, all of us, we are working. When you are engaged in the work, how many inches your breath? Tell me. How many inches is your breath? Is it 8 inches, 16 inches, 24 inches, 36 inches? It's only 6 inches. Only up to here you are inhaling. You are inhaling only thoracic breathing, only up to here. No diaphragmatic breathing at all. Only up to here. Clavicular breathing is called. You're inhaling only up to here. In fact, when you are watching it and you are burning more oxygen because of excitement, but your consumption is high. That's why your breath is short. So more number of times you are breathing in without your knowledge. Or if you are not breathing in and you're depriving your system of oxygen. That's why metabolism has come down. So when you are engaged in your work also, you are not inhaling. Your inhalation is only 6 inches, but your spending oxygen is very high. Expenditure is high, oxygen, but credit is very less. That's why we are dying. That's why stress, that's why strain. If you only focus, now at home, if you only focus, whatever you are doing, if you are inhaling, how that activity affecting your breath, if you only observe, you will be very healthy. You will be very happy. Every activity you do is affecting your breath, affecting your oxygen consumption, and you are depriving your system of oxygen every activity you do. I'm just asking, how many of you thought when you are engaged in the work, morning to evening cortisol activity, all your cortisol activity is nothing but a cutting activity of oxygen, consuming oxygen, not conservation of oxygen. If you only live in this moment, if you only learn to inhale deep down the navel and lift sternum, clavicles, increasing. It's not sternum breathing, it's clavicles breathing. Lift and keep your arms. People are asking now, Mr. Kumar, what pranayama I should do? Only 2 breathings you should do. Only 2 breathings. One is, now is Rahu, moon. Rahu captured the moon. The planet Rahu captured the moon. So respiratory syndrome is a cooling down syndrome. So that virus cools down your system and cools down your lungs, and thereby it causes congestion, blocks the lungs. That's why you should never inhale now from the left nostril. You should never do the left nostril breathing at all. Only breathing you should do is right nostril breathing. Right nostril breathing, like this. No count. Comfortable. So it is like this. In tradition we do like this. Japa. Always pranayama has to be done with again, with the guru, with the chant. It's like that. So that long you inhale. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, hum. You only have to focus on inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation includes holding the breath. Exhalation includes holding the breath. So you only have to focus on inhalation and exhalation. Inhale from right nostril. So hum. When I say hum, exhale from the left nostril. This is only the breath which you do now. There's one breath. Another one is this. Your elbows, lift your shoulders and push your elbows back. Keep your shoulders back. Your sternum is lifted, clavicles is lifted, diaphragm is lifted. Now you can feel total volume, tidal volume, full capacity of the lungs you can feel. Your chest should be lifted like this. That's only the way to 6 liters, your total volume of the lungs. Tidal volume is 4 liters. Residual volume is 2 liters. The coronavirus likes residual volume. Means when you are inhaling only up to here, engaged in the work. So ventilation means oxygen availability down the lungs not available. Then what is there in those lungs? Carbon dioxide, unwanted gases accumulated down. So that is called residual volume. The all reason for a death, the person in ICU is monitored not for oxygen, is monitored for carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide accumulation is a problem. A patient dies on the ventilator, a patient dying in ICU is dying because of accumulation of the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is much heavier compared to the oxygen. Understand? And carbon dioxide is increasing means residual volume is increasing. Means your tidal volume is decreasing. Your alveolar capacity is coming down. Your alveolar capacity is, we are supposed to inhale, so 500 ml, 500 ml per breath. And so 12 breaths per minute, 12 breaths per minute, 6 liters you inhale. In this, dead space is there. So your lungs cannot be absorbed. So only 350 ml is absorbed. So 4.2 liters is all that is the full capacity of your alveolar capacity. So as the residual volume accumulates and this alveolar capacity is coming down. And what this coronavirus does, your alveolar capacity brings down, it increases your residual volume. There are two things. One is inhaling, filling the lungs. Before you fill lungs, empty out the lungs. That is only two things you have to remember. The objective of pranayama, only two things. One is emptying out, called making your residual volume zero. This is only the way you can increase your tidal volume. Making your residual volume zero. Residual respiratory volume zero. And another one is filling. That is your full capacity of the tidal volume, increasing the tidal volume. That's all. If only these two things are there, you are very, very healthy. You are very, very healthy. Now, coronavirus causes a congestion. It is a chronic, severe, acute respiratory syndrome. Severe, acute. They found within 1 week the 3-dimensional picture in America when they have taken of the lungs of a coronavirus. They are amazed to see how quickly coronavirus is choking the lungs and how quickly it is increasing the residual volume. How quickly it is making alveolar capacity zero. That's why governments are ordering ventilators now. Understand the tidal volume. How to make your residual volume zero. So for that only I show you. All external forced exhalation, inhalation is only the way to make residual volume zero. Forced inhalation and exhalation. How to increase the tidal volume? Slow and deep inhalation and exhalation. People are asking, sir, you have not explained during the COVID times how we should breathe in. During the COVID times, you should always aware when you sit meditating on the natural breath, when you are moving, chest upright. If you keep your chest upright, naturally you inhale to the deep parts. Keep always your chest upright. That's all. Your breath automatically becomes straight. Always walk like this. Every 3 minutes activity. Every half an hour activity, remember. 30 minutes work, 3 minutes break, as per WHO recommendation. But 3 minutes break is to do with the breath. And to make residual volume 0, high intent, Kapalabhati, Bhastrika, not good. It increases the blood pressure. Again, oxygen consumption increases. Instead of that, go into Tibetan box breathing to make your residual volume 0. So Tibetan box breathing, it is there on my YouTube, download in English, they are available. Simple. Even in Tibetan box breathing is a low intensity. Forced inhalation, forced exhalation, short it is a powerful way of making your residual volume 0.